Now we want to break down what President Trump said tonight in his speech. Joining me now, Catawba College Politics Department Chair, Dr. Michael Bitzer. And Dr. Bitzer, as always, thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
So your thoughts on the president's speech?
Well, it's the longest address by a president to Congress, well over an hour and 40 minutes. I also think it's probably going to go into the history books as one of the most antagonistic and potentially one of the most divisive speeches given. He really spoke only to the Republican side of the House chamber, and all the Democrats just basically sat there. They held up some signs saying false or other messages, but it really was a Republican-driven dynamic and speech. He had a lot of red meat for the Republican base, and it'll be interesting to see how the public opinion, rates this particular speech in the next several days, if not weeks.
Yeah, you don't normally see that kind of decorum, but as they were attacking each other back and forth, especially with like Al Green getting escorted out tonight. That's not something that you normally see from a speech like this with the president and the joint session.
Exactly. And normally we even see the opposition at least stand and recognize when the president comes in. All of the Democratic members that I could tell were basically sitting down when he came into the chamber. So this really was a sign, I think, of deep, deep political division between the two sides. And there was nothing really from the president to make any kind of entries to the Democrats, I believe.
But it was a rallying cry as far as for all the Republicans, the White House administration, a dizzying first few weeks in office for President Trump. He listed a number of accomplishments tonight, as most presidents do in a speech like this. The spending cuts, executive orders, new endeavors on his agenda, while also recognizing many people in attendance, like the family of Laken Riley, the young woman murdered by an illegal immigrant, too, announcing a young man's acceptance into West Point. So always a sense of feel good with this for the administration.
Very much so. And presidents ever since Ronald Reagan have really used guests as kind of points to make the broader image and message that they want to achieve. And certainly President Trump knew how to do this. He is, somebody who knows how to craft a message and really get it out there. It felt at times very much like a Trump rally at times. So we'll just have to kind of see what public opinion grades this. I think certainly the whirlwind of these past several weeks of the Trump administration and the continuation of this speech, we will continue to see these kinds of very turbulent times of political division, most likely in the months to come.
Yeah, and the speech also tonight comes on the backdrop of a wavering consumer confidence here recently. You got the punishing tariffs on our allies, Canada and Mexico. That has inflation creeping up. Fixing the economy as part of Trump's campaign platform, and also that disastrous Oval Office meeting that we were talking about with Ukrainian President Zelensky on Friday. That has a majority of Americans fearing the U.S. has turned its back on our allies.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, just the past 2 days have wiped out all of the gains in the major markets since Election Day. So the threats of tariffs that he continued to push and really set a new benchmark of April 2nd for another round of potential tariffs is going to continue to cause, I believe, economic jitters within the nation's economy. When it comes to Ukraine, it sounds like he finally got the concessions from Zelensky that he wanted and promoted that towards the end of the speech. Whether a lot of people hung around for that particular part of the speech, I don't know. But we may see movement then on this kind of attempt to at least create some kind of peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. He really didn't give a whole lot of information about the Russian side, and I think that's what a lot of people are expecting. What will Russia concede to what Ukraine has to concede if there is going to be any kind of peace deal between the two?
And it sounds like that's what we'll be talking about over the next couple of days, that minerals deal, and also how that peace deal plays out, and also the economy with the tariffs as well. Dr. Bitzer, Michael Bitzer from Catawba College, thanks as always for staying up late with us tonight. Get some sleep, and we'll see you in class tomorrow.
Sounds good.